had Neil Ruddock come to me after West Ham, and he had lots to say during the time at Tottenham when you had your issues with Venables, and we all know what they were because I had similar ones with Terry when he was over at Palace. Do you think fans now are getting a bit ahead of themselves? Because look at some of the demands they're putting on football clubs now, which is we must be on your board. We want the 50+1 rule. We want to have the golden share. We want this, we want that. So what's your take on that? Because in the real world, it has to be financed.
That is ridiculous. That is totally ridiculous to have fans on the board. Absolutely, totally ridiculous.
But Tottenham and Chelsea have done that, Alan.
I mean, at Tottenham, now we've got a new stadium with a 60,000 capacity. We've got 60,000 managers. You do realise that, don't you? They all know best. They know better than anybody else. So you don't want them anywhere near the board. The board has got to be controlled by the owners, and at best has got to have some director of football that has actually been in football, that understands football. At the tail end of my ownership of Tottenham, I had Martin as one of our ex-players and West Ham players on the board, and I had David Pleat on the board. People of knowledge who know what they're talking about.
Spurs have stuck an NED in there, Alan, from the Tottenham Supporters Trust. What do you make of that?
I'll say again?
Spurs have put an NED in, a non-exec director in, from the fans groups.
Well, is it symbolic or what? I don't know.
But surely they've got to have a voice, Alan, now. Surely, more than at any other time, the fans have got to have a voice. And this is the moment.
Voice? No. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't agree with it. What is the voice? The point is, it's about, should we buy Carlos Kickaboy or shan't we buy him? Do we have the money for him or not? I mean, all the fans will want is better players, and more expensive players and all that stuff. The other thing that fans might demand is that, in the northwest part of the stadium, when it rains, water's falling on our head sometimes. So could you fix the roof? Yeah. My brother was the biggest Tottenham fan you could ever come across. And he used to complain. He used to complain before we knocked the building down that the water would pour in, and drip on his head exactly where his season ticket was. Yeah. So fair enough. That type of stuff. Feed it back to the management, tell them to apportion some money to do some ground refurbishment, clean up the facilities there.
Yeah, but Alan, hang on a second. The clubs, the 6 clubs who attempted to join the Super League have all had to give, including Tottenham, a grovelling apology to their supporters and say, we're so sorry, this was so ill thought through, we can't tell you how sorry we are. So the fans deserve something out of this, because these same owners effectively spat in the faces of the fans.
Yeah, lip service, that's all it is now, lip service. What's happened was the financial side of it collapsed. It wasn't going to go ahead, wasn't going to happen. So the easiest way out is to say, oh, yeah, you're right, actually, yeah, you're right. So sorry, it was a silly idea, we're not doing it. What do you expect them to say? What do you expect them to say to the fans? Well, we tried to make a few more quid. It didn't come off, so tough luck.
Yeah, but the protest down at Old Trafford was more than lip service.
Well,
this was real. They got inside. They were fuming.
Yeah, well, but that was disastrous. But the point is, what's that got to do with the management? They went in, and the management thought to themselves, "Oh bloody hell, this is bad news." So we turn the game off, switch it off, and reschedule the game. I don't get the point you're making. They've made the fans have made their point. Get over it. It's not happening. So. It's over now. Let's get what we need to do is to regulate the game in such a way that we don't keep looking for reasons to try to get more money.
Is there a problem though if we start capping wages and capping transfer fees? Is there a risk that La Liga, Bundesliga will start to supersede us?
Yeah, maybe. But so what? I mean, look, when I first came into football, we in England were considered to be the poor relations until Sky came along, and the thing was run by Juventus,
Madrid, Barcelona,
You looked up to Barcelona, you looked up to Juventus, you looked up to Milan, AC Milan, Inter Milan. They were the kings because they were the ones spending loads of money. Then along came Rupert and his money, and he gave more money to a league than anybody else did. And suddenly those people playing at Juventus, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Carlos's started coming to us because we started paying loads of money. It's as simple as that. But at the end of the day, with the exception of not being able to win the Champions League because you didn't have the talent to win the Champions League, the British game itself gave entertainment for the public because you played with what you had. You had the people with what you had, and we played each other, and you had your entertainment. Now, the only thing is that whoever won the league that year went into the European Championships and didn't get very far because the quality of players, with respect, let's say Leeds had at one time, or Manchester United had at one time, weren't good enough, and they were out in the third or fourth round. That's the worst